So, imagine you're trying to close, $1 million business deal.
Okay, high stakes.
Right. And if you're in a Western country, you probably know exactly how this plays out. You're going to put on some stiff, uncomfortable clothes and drive out to a very quiet, very boring golf course.
Oh, yeah. The classic golf meeting.
Exactly. You spend the next 4 hours walking around on the grass, making polite, hushed conversation. You politely clap when they hit the ball. And you just hope, that the other person likes you enough by hole 18 to sign the contract.
Right. It's a very formal, structured environment. And the whole thing is designed to be quiet, understated, and honestly, it can be incredibly stressful.
Oh, totally.
Because every single interaction feels heavily scrutinized.
It really does. It's basically an interview disguised as a sport. But what if I told you that in another part of the world, you don't go anywhere near a golf course?
Okay, I'm listening.
Instead, you take that very same business partner, you walk into a private, neon-lit room with a massive television, you order a spicy, boiling hot pot, and you both just start belting out pop songs at the top of your lungs.
That is quite the visual.
Right. Wait, so instead of playing a boring game of golf to close a deal, people are singing pop anthems together. Like, how does that actually work in a professional setting?
It's a fantastic question, and it really challenges our assumptions about how networking works. Welcome to the Deep Dive, everyone. Today, we're taking you on a journey into the fascinating, highly luxurious world of Chinese KTV.
Yes.
We're basing this on a stack of cultural exchange dialogues and research we've been reviewing. And we're going to explore how this ecosystem is not just a place to sing. It's really a completely different culture of socialization.
I am so excited to get into this because, when I think of combining a party with a private room, it honestly sounds like the absolute perfect weekend activity with my friends.
Oh, for sure.
But the idea that KTV is a primary venue for high-stakes business trips and corporate networking, that really caught me off guard in our research today.
It's definitely surprising if you're operating under Western business norms.
Yeah.
But to understand why it works so beautifully for both, casual weekend fun and serious business networking, we really have to look at the physical space itself.
Okay, let's do it.
Because we need to completely erase the Western image of karaoke from our minds.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, this is not your average sticky floor dive bar with a broken microphone.
Yeah, let's unpack this physical space because the sheer scale of these places mentioned in the sources is just mind-boggling. I mean, we aren't talking about a couple of local spots.
Not at all.
There are hundreds of these massive venues in every single major city. Hundreds.
They are absolutely everywhere, woven right into the fabric of urban life. And when you arrive at one, you immediately realize how entirely different the experience is from walking into a noisy pub off the street. Typically, you're entering a large, high-end commercial building. You might take an elevator all the way up to the 15th or 20th floor.
And when those elevator doors slide open, what are you actually walking into? Because it definitely doesn't sound like a bar.
It doesn't look like one either. You walk into a beautiful, brightly lit, fancy lobby. There's a massive, polished front desk with uniformed staff waiting to greet you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you actually have to check in almost like you're arriving for a vacation. When you book and pay for your time, they don't just point you down a hallway. They hand you a programmed key card.
Wait, checking in at a front desk with a key card? I have to admit, when I read that, I laughed. Is this a place to sing a few songs, or are we checking into the Ritz-Carlton for the weekend?
I know, right? It genuinely mimics that luxury hotel experience.
Yeah.
And that feeling only intensifies when you walk down these long, beautifully decorated hallways looking for your room number.
It's just wild.
And these spaces are completely private. Once you swipe that key card and close the heavy, soundproof door behind you, the rest of the world just disappears.
And these rooms aren't just one size fits all, right? Our sources mentioned a whole tier system depending on your group size.
Exactly. The venues are incredibly adaptable. If it's just you and a couple of close friends, maybe 2 to 4 people, you book a small room. It's cozy and intimate.
Makes sense.
But if you're bringing the office team out, you upgrade to a medium room for 5 to 10 people. But here's the part that really shifts the perspective. They have big rooms designed for 20 or more people.
A private room for 20 people. That isn't just a room anymore. That's an entire private event hall.
It really is.
I can't even imagine the social dynamics of commanding a room that size. You'd feel like royalty.
You really do. And no matter what size room you rent, the baseline amenities are designed for total, uninterrupted comfort. You aren't sitting on hardwood and bar stools.
Thank goodness.
Right. You have these long, plush, wraparound leather sofas. You have a massive table anchoring the center of the room for all your food and drinks. And of course, dominating the wall is a massive, crystal clear TV screen.
And we have to mention the greatest amenity of all. Every room has its own private bathroom.
Yes.
I have to say, as someone who absolutely hates losing their friends in a crowded bar or waiting in a 20-minute line for a public restroom, having a private bathroom in your own party room is a game changer. You literally never have to leave your little kingdom.
Which is exactly why it functions so perfectly for business networking. Think about it logically. If you're trying to build a relationship with a client, the last thing you want is for them to be distracted by loud strangers.
Oh, definitely.
Or for the conversation to be interrupted because someone bumped into your table. KTV solves that. You create a completely controlled, comfortable bubble for your group.
That makes total sense. You aren't just renting a karaoke machine, you're renting private real estate. Okay, so picture this. We're inside this luxurious room. We're sinking into a comfortable wraparound sofa. The soundproof doors are closed.
The vibe is set.
Right. But now we need to know how to actually operate in this environment because you don't have a bartender standing in the corner. Let's transition to the technology, the music, and how you actually get food in there.
The food is where this ecosystem really flexes its muscles.
Right.
But let's start with the technology because it's the bridge to everything else. You're in a private room. How do you control the experience without leaving?
Well, according to the sources, there's a sleek tablet sitting right there on the center table. You don't have to walk up to some complicated old-school machine with a giant binder of songs. You just tap the screen.
Right, and what's really fascinating here is the underlying software. The tablet often uses the exact same app interface as the famous Chinese food delivery service, Meituan.
Oh, that's incredibly smart design. So the learning curve is zero. If you know how to order dinner on your smartphone while sitting on your couch at home, you already intuitively know how to operate the KTV room.
Exactly. It removes all the friction. You use that single tablet to search for songs, cue up the music, adjust the lighting, and order all your snacks and drinks.
That is so convenient.
It seamlessly blends entertainment and service. You never have to pick up a phone or track down a waiter.
Let's talk about the music library on that tablet, because we aren't talking about 50 outdated songs from the 1980s. We are talking about thousands and thousands of tracks constantly updated.
The variety is staggering. Because it's a private room, the venue caters to every possible taste in your group. They have massive libraries of mandopop, which is Mandarin pop music.
Okay.
They have cantopop from Hong Kong. They have an endless selection of K-pop, and of course, all the current Western hits. It's a totally globalized music database.
So you really have this melting pot of cultures accessible from one screen. Now, I have a logistical question.
Sure, go ahead.
If I'm standing up to sing a big power ballad in front of 20 coworkers, I'm gonna need a little help. What's the sound system actually like?
Well, don't worry. They don't leave you hanging. The sound systems are professional grade. You get heavy, high-quality microphones and massive speakers. And they have all sorts of audio settings built right into the tablet. You can instantly add an echo effect.
Like when your voice bounces around a large concert hall and sounds really full and dramatic?
Precisely. It masks imperfections and makes your voice sound much bigger and richer than it actually is.
Yeah.
And if you really need a safety net, some of these modern systems even have autotune built right in.
Okay, wait. I have to push back on that a little bit. Doesn't having autotune in a karaoke room feel a little like cheating?
Cheating?
Yeah, I mean, if a computer algorithm is actively fixing your pitch so you don't sing out of tune, are you really even singing? What's the point?
I love that you brought that up because this touches on the very core philosophy of Chinese KTV culture. In the West, we tend to view karaoke as a talent show. It's an individual performance where you show off. But in China, it's not a talent show at all.
It's not. Then what is it?
The goal isn't to be a perfect, flawless singer. The goal is collective joy. It's about participating and having fun together.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Even if you sing terribly, even if you're completely off key and missing the beat, what do your friends do? They cheer for you. They clap. They shake tambourines. They support you.
That sounds so positive.
It is. The auto-tune isn't there to make you a star. It's there to lower the barrier to entry so everyone feels comfortable picking up the mic.
That's a beautiful way to look at it. It completely removes the anxiety. Singing for group harmony, not for individual competition. And, you know, speaking of keeping the group happy, we have to talk about the culinary situation here.
Yeah.
Because this blew my mind.
Oh, yes. The food and snacks at KTV aren't just an afterthought. They are a central pillar of the entire experience.
Because in a Western karaoke bar, you're lucky if you get a bowl of stale pretzels and a lukewarm beer.
So true.
But in a Chinese KTV room, you are ordering elaborate, beautifully carved fruit platters, you're ordering nuts, imported chips, all kinds of fresh juices and teas. And I almost couldn't believe this when I read it Hot Pot.
It's completely true. It's the ultimate convergence of two amazing cultures. In some KTV venues, you can literally eat a boiling, incredibly delicious hot pot right there on the table in your private room.
Just visualize that scenario for a second. You have a microphone in one hand, passionately singing a duet, and in your other hand, you have long wooden chopsticks dipping fresh, thinly sliced beef into a spicy boiling broth. I cannot think of a better way to spend a Friday night.
It truly functions as a complete ecosystem. You have high-end technology, professional music, amazing culinary options, and your favorite people, all sealed inside a private, luxurious space.
Which naturally leads me to my next question. With the giant TV, the private bathroom, the beautiful marble lobby, and the room service hot pot, how on earth is this financed? Like, what does all this luxury actually cost the consumer?
You'd think a private room with hotel-level service would cost an absolute fortune, but it's actually incredibly reasonable. And the pricing structure is brilliantly straightforward. You pay strictly by the hour.
Okay, give us a sense of the scale here. What kind of numbers are we talking about?
If you go on a regular weekday afternoon or early evening, a small room might only cost you between 50 to 100 yuan per hour.
Wow, so roughly 7 to 14 US dollars an hour. That is incredibly affordable, especially if you're splitting that hourly rate among 3 or 4 friends. I imagine the weekends surge in price, though.
They do. On a Friday or Saturday night, it gets a bit more expensive. You might pay between 100 to 200 yuan per hour for that same room. But there's another crucial financial detail here that completely changes the vibe of the evening.
What's that?
There is absolutely no tipping.
Wait, really? None at all? Even with people bringing food to your room?
None. And if you think about why, it makes perfect sense for the environment they're trying to create. In Western countries, tipping creates a constant transactional friction.
Oh, totally.
Every time you order a drink, you have to do math, pull out your wallet, and evaluate the service. It breaks the flow of the party. In China, you just pay the flat hourly room fee at the front desk, and you pay a set price for the food on the tablet. Service is fully included.
I absolutely love the psychology of that. By removing the friction of tipping and constant transactions, it actually elevates the illusion that you aren't a customer in a bar. You're just a wealthy host entertaining friends in your own private mansion.
Exactly. It sustains the magic of the private bubble. And if we're talking about sustaining the magic, we have to talk about the legendary night package.
Yes, I was reading about this, and it sounds intense. This is apparently incredibly popular with college students and young professionals.
It is. The KTV night package is a cultural institution.
From my understanding, the night package isn't just renting a room for an hour or two. It essentially turns the KTV venue into an all-inclusive resort for night owls. Break down how this works for us.
Usually, starting around 10 o'clock at night, the venue offers one flat, heavily discounted, fixed price. And that single price covers the room all the way until 6 or 8 o'clock the next morning.
10 p.m. to 8 a.m. That's 10 hours. I mean, I love singing, but do people really sing pop songs for 10 hours straight? Their voices would be destroyed.
Well, no, they rarely sing the entire time.
Yeah.
And that's the genius of the night package. The room essentially transforms into your private temporary apartment for the night.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the group might sing energetically for the first few hours. Then around 2 a.m., the microphones get put down. They might order some late night food and just sit around having deep conversations. Then they might pull out some board games or play dice games.
But what happens at 5 a.m. when human biology takes over and everyone is just totally exhausted? Why not just go home?
Because in a massive city, public transit might be closed or taxis might be expensive. So they sleep. Some of the higher end KTV rooms actually have beds hidden in them. But even if they don't, those wraparound leather sofas are so big and comfortable that people just bring a blanket, curl up, and go to sleep right there in the room with the TV softly playing in the background.
That is just brilliant urban design. You go out for a massive party and you don't even have to worry about the logistics of getting home at 3 in the morning. The party simply transitions into a sleepover.
It really is. And if we step back and connect all of this to the bigger historical picture, it shows how KTV in China has evolved into something entirely unique. It has completely diverged from where karaoke originally started.
Right, because karaoke is not a Chinese invention, is it?
No, it was actually invented in Japan back in the 1970s.
So how does the original Japanese karaoke compare to the modern Chinese KTV experience we're talking about today?
The contrast is driven by geography and real estate. In Japan, urban space is incredibly limited and expensive. So traditional Japanese karaoke spaces, often called karaoke boxes, are usually quite small.
Okay, that makes sense.
They're highly functional, clean, and efficient, but they can be a bit cramped. China took that original blueprint of the private box and supercharged it. They scaled it up, added massive rooms, integrated complex food systems, and applied hotel-style luxury service.
And what about the contrast with the West? Because when I think of karaoke in America or Europe, it's a totally different animal.
The Western adaptation is arguably the most different. In the West, karaoke almost exclusively happens in a public bar. There are rarely private rooms. If you want to sing, you have to walk up onto a public stage, stand under a spotlight in front of 50 complete strangers, and sing into a microphone.
Which to me is utterly terrifying. You're completely exposed. Everyone in the bar is judging you. If your voice cracks on a high note, the whole room knows it.
Exactly. It's an exhibitionist public performance. It requires a lot of liquid courage. But in China, because it's a private soundproof room, it's inherently a safe space. You're only performing for people you already know, trust, and care about. You can be totally relaxed and vulnerable.
Safe, relaxed, and vulnerable. I think that's the absolute secret ingredient to why it works so well for bonding. Oh, and before I forget, the sources mentioned one more crazy luxury detail. Sometimes Chinese KTV isn't just about you singing yourself. Sometimes you can bring in professionals.
Yes. At some of the very high-end elite KTV venues, if you want to impress your guests, you can actually hire professional live musicians or dancers to come into your private room and perform exclusively for you.
So it literally transforms from a karaoke room into a private VIP concert in your own personal nightclub. That is next level luxury.
It really is an unparalleled experience.
Okay, let's put you, the listener, right in the middle of this. Since Chinese KTV is this complete immersive entertainment experience, you need to know exactly how to navigate it when you finally go. So we're going to do a quick, fun little role play right now, and we are going to deliberately slow our pace down here so it's super easy to follow.
I love that idea. We will speak very clearly with plenty of pauses. I'll guide you through some essential vocabulary and phrases. I'll say them, and we want you to practice repeating them out loud wherever you're listening from.
I'll jump in too. Imagine we are walking through those glass doors. We're walking up to that glossy marble front desk, getting ready for an amazing night.
Perfect setting. Let's lock in 5 key vocabulary words first. The first word is the foundation of it all. Karaoke.
Karaoke.
The second word is your control center for the night.
Yeah.
Tablet.
Tablet.
The third word is the audio effect that makes you sound like a rock star.
Echo.
Echo. The fourth word is what you buy if you want to stay until breakfast. Package.
Package.
And the fifth word is the technology that saves my voice. Autotune.
Autotune. I will absolutely be using the autotune, by the way.
Now let's put those into action with some phrases. You're standing at the front desk. The staff member looks at you and asks, "How many hours do you want to book?"
How many hours do you want to book?
And here is how you confidently reply. "We want to book a small room for 3 hours."
We want to book a small room for 3 hours.
Great. Now you've swiped your key card. You're in the room, sinking into the sofa, and you're ready for snacks. You look at your friend and ask, "Can I have the menu?"
Can I have the menu?
Let's order some classics.
Huh.
I want some fruit and juice.
I want some fruit and juice.
Now it's time to get the party started. You hand over the tablet and ask, "What song do you want to sing next?"
What song do you want to sing next?
Let's pick a legend. I want to sing Jay Chow.
I want to sing Jay Chow.
Now this next one is crucial for group harmony. Your friend just finished singing. They're smiling. You want to hype them up. You look at them and say, "Your singing is amazing."
Their singing is amazing.
And finally, the vibe is great, and you don't want the night to end. You say, "Let's order another round of drinks."
Let's order another round of drinks.
Fantastic job. Okay, let's bring our speed back up to normal now. If you can master those phrases, you are completely ready to host your own night out.
Honestly, I already love singing with my friends, but understanding how to navigate the specific cultural setup makes me want to book a plane ticket right now just to experience it.
It really is a cultural phenomenon worth experiencing. To quickly summarize everything we've unpacked today, Chinese KTV is so much more than just a place with a microphone. It is a highly evolved, all-in-one entertainment ecosystem.
Yeah, absolutely.
It takes cutting-edge technology, merges it with incredible culinary traditions like hot pot, and wraps it all up inside a safe, private, beautifully designed space. It's essentially a luxury mini hotel built entirely for social bonding.
It sounds like an absolute utopia for an introvert who still wants to party. Now, our sources do tease that in the future, we might dive into Chinese bathhouse culture, which sounds equally luxurious and fascinating. But for today's deep dive, we're keeping the focus firmly on the music.
We definitely are.
But, before we wrap up, sitting with all this information has raised a really interesting contradiction in my mind, something for you, the listener, to ponder long after this deep dive ends.
Ugh. What are you thinking about?
Well, we spent a lot of time today talking about how Chinese KTV is this ultimate, safe and relaxed space. It's a private room where the doors are closed, being totally off-key is celebrated, and it's infinitely less terrifying than standing on a public stage in a Western bar full of judging strangers.
Right, because you're shielded by your private group.
But we also established at the very beginning of the deep dive that KTV is a primary tool for high-stakes business trips and corporate networking.
I see exactly where this is going.
So really think about this dynamic. You're in that soundproof room, the door is closed, but sitting on the leather sofa right next to you is your biggest, most intimidating client.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's your boss, the exact person who decides if you get that promotion next month and they are smiling and handing you the microphone. Does that immense pressure to impress them secretly turn this safe, private room into the most high-pressure, heavily scrutinized public performance of your entire career? Like, how relaxed can you actually be when your professional future might depend on how enthusiastically you sing a pop music duet?
That is an incredibly sharp observation. It takes a private room and suddenly turns it into the most consequential stage in the world.
Exactly. It's a fascinating psychological tightrope. Something to mull over the next time someone casually hands you a microphone. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep practicing those phrases, keep exploring new cultures, and whatever you do, keep singing.
Goodbye, everyone.